What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Dynamite, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Jeff Hardy's scary injury at Rampage taping, two top WWE superstars still haven't signed new deals, Wrestlemania in Vegas, a former star hung up on WWE, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good is number 1, Moxley vs Harwood, Slobberknocker. The Blackpool Combat Club's mission statement of being professionals was in full effect last night. Moxley vs Harwood was a solid match fans expected from both men, but as always, winning the match wasn't enough for Mox, and he had to punish Harwood after the match. The ensuing brawl between Cash Wheeler and Claudio Castagnoli and subsequent beatdown on FTR was all that was needed to set things up for what promises to be a major tag team tussle. Number 2, Cody Chance. Cody Rhodes hasn't been in AEW for 2 years, but he's apparently still over. Darby Allin's veiled reference to AEW's former EVP was all it took for the fans to start a Cody chant. Ironically, Cody couldn't get the fans to cheer him during his last year in AEW, but he's over in WWE and AEW right now. Number 3, terrific Texas Deathmatch. While the name Matt Taven doesn't scream main event, booking him into a Texas Deathmatch against Orange Cassidy was a clever way to make the match seem worthwhile. Of course, this match was more about Cassidy's upcoming title defense at Revolution against Roderick Strong than Taven being anything but a tune-up match with blood. Number 4, Daniel Garcia is ready. One wrestler who is ready for bigger things is Daniel Garcia. Garcia seemed to be on the cusp of a solid push back in the fall of 2022 when he captured the Ring of Honor Pure Championship, but since then, he's been sidelined as an extra in the Jericho Appreciation Society. Things got worse for when the JAS dissolved, but recently there have been signs that AEW is getting behind Garcia. Let's hope so, because he's someone who has proved his worth and the fans seem ready to support him. Number 5, Young Bucks perfecting heel style. Does the wrestling world need evil authority figures? It's a storyline that's been overused, and while AEW hasn't used it, it's still cause for concern as it can quickly become tired. So far, the Young Bucks are using their role as EVPs to add some momentum to their new heel persona, as hopefully AEW will deal with the question of them overstepping their authority at some point. Or wearing the bloodstained clothes from last week's attack on Sting and Darby Allin was a great touch. Matthew and Nicholas have quickly become the scumbag fans can't wait to see get their comeuppance, which is why they're the perfect opponents for Sting's last match. And Swerve is ready for face turn. Swerve Strickland is ready for a face turn. The AEW Galaxy seemed to respect him after his Texas death match with Adam Page, and like any good wrestler, he backs up what he's gonna do. Don't be surprised to see a double turn at Revolution when Hangman Adam Page and Swerve Strickland battle AEW World Champion Samoa Joe, two turns that could benefit both wrestlers, but especially Strickland. That was good. What about the bad? As number 1, Willow Nightingale vs Sky Blue. AEW is supposedly working hard to rebuild its women's division in 2024 by adding talent such as Deonna Purrazzo and Mercedes Money. If so, why is the company booking Willow Nightingale vs Sky Blue on Dynamite when the match belongs on Rampage? Does AEW want to remind fans how even its women's roster is before it improves things? Now, there was nothing downright ugly as AEW continues to build up Revolution, which is only 2.5 weeks away, at just the right pace, building interest in the matches that are already booked while also introducing new ones. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's move on to the news. Now, first story looks at Jeff Hardy's scary injury at Rampage taping. On top of today's news is a report that veteran wrestler Jeff Hardy may have been injured at the 14th February taping of Rampage. Wrestling's charismatic enigma was fighting Sammy Guevara in an ODQ match when Guevara nailed him with a shooting star press. Based on reports from fans who attended the show, it appears that Hardy may have been hit in the head by Guevara's knee when he performed the move. As per PW Insider, referee Paul Turner called the ringside doctor into the ring to check on Jeff, with the charismatic enigma said to have been bleeding from his nose or lip afterwards. Shortly after Hardy was checked on, an audible was called as the match went to an abrupt finish. We here at Wrestlelamia really hope that Jeff is okay. Next up, two top superstars still haven't signed new deals. There's incredible news is coming in concerning Raw superstars Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, as neither man has signed a new contract with the WWE. Both Drew and Seth's current deals are set to expire this year, but unless the WWE has done a good job keeping any contract news a secret, neither man has put pen to paper to stay in the company. This is surprising for both superstars, as Drew has been working in high-profile programs ever since his 2023 heel turn. As for Seth, his status as World Heavyweight Champion and his apparent involvement in the ongoing war between Cody Rhodes and the new team of The Rock and Roman Reigns speaks for itself. The WWE has worked hard to sign several top stars to new deals, as seen by the recent announcement that Rey Mysterio, Dominic Mysterio, Charlotte Flair and Bayley all renewed their deals with the WWE. It's doubtful that the WWE wants to see Drew or Seth go, which means the company must be confident that both men plan to stay. Seth Rollins' contract scenario could prove interesting, as his wife Becky Lynch's WWE contract ends in 2024. The chances of either superstar leaving seem remote unless they plan to take some time off from wrestling in general. Both talents have deep roots in the WWE and both have been booked as top players for years. Add in Becky's recent memoir and it seems like they're two more WWE loyalists who will be in the company for a long time. Dave Meltzer recently commented on Drew McIntyre's status in the WWE. The answer to that is no, he has not signed a new deal, but he seems very happy so far with his new character and he's really excited about it, and they're working with the idea that he's not going anywhere, but nothing's signed. I think the talk of him taking a lot of time off and everything like that, probably not. He'll probably sign a new deal, but it's still just a probable until it happens. Both Drew and Seth are doing some of their best work ever, which should help them when it comes down to negotiating new deals. While either man could command top dollar in AEW, they may feel uncomfortable at how they'll be utilized in the promotion given AEW's lackluster use of WWE talent. Next up, WrestleMania 41 in Vegas. It looks like TKO Holdings is taking a bold approach to its plans for WrestleMania 41. A new report from PW Insider states that TKO Holdings is abandoning the WWE's previous policies with booking WrestleMania's location, which means that Minneapolis, which had been rumored as a top candidate for WrestleMania 41, might be replaced. One location being mentioned is Las Vegas. Like any corporation, TKO Holdings is going to do whatever it believes is best for business, whether it's running more shows in international venues, cancelling previous plans for WrestleMania, or making any other changes it sees as improving profits. What do you guys think to WrestleMania in Las Vegas again? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shotzi Blackheart update. It's time for an update on Shotzi Blackheart, who was injured on the 13th February NXT during an NXT Women's Championship match against Lyra Valkyrie. Dave Meltzer discussed Shotzi's injury during a recent Wrestling Observer Radio and how it's led to a change of plans for a major match on SmackDown. Yeah, so she was pulled. She was going to be on Friday's SmackDown show in a match with Tiffany Stratton, which was a qualifier match for the Chamber Tournament. And I don't know the severity of the Shotzi injury, but I do know that she left the building on crutches and it was a knee injury. Shotzi's injury has also changed the WWE's plans for SmackDown, as SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis posted the following on X. Good evening WWE Universe, it is your SmackDown General Manager, and ahead of this Friday SmackDown, I have some unfortunate news to kick things off. Shotzi is unfortunately injured and unable to compete, so we wish her the best in her recovery, but it does mean that the opportunity knocks for another superstar, and that superstar is Alba Fire, so we wish her the best. Next up, Heath Slater talks up hanging up on the WWE. And last but not least, Heath Slater has got kids, so why did he hang up on the WWE when they called him? The former 3MB member recently spoke with Wrestling News, revealing that WWE writer contacted him after the company released him in 2020. According to him, he had about 2 weeks left on his non-compete clause before he could wrestle, and he wanted nothing to do with the WWE. However, that changed when then WWE champion Drew McIntyre phoned him. That's when McIntyre called me. He said, "Come on mate, I can probably lead to you getting a contract again, or at least you can be on television with me. I'm the champ now and you could get a nice little rub before you go hit the indies or whatever you want to do." I said, I don't want to do it, but then of course we kept talking and he talked me into it. We did it, we go down there, they wanted me to do 3 things. I was told them I was only going to do 1, and that's when you saw me coming out with Drew. Slater wrestled McIntyre, losing to the champion, but giving the fans a heartwarming moment as the two friends hugged afterwards. Slater eventually ended up working in Impact Wrestling as Heath and renewed his WWE tag team with Rhino. But there you have it folks, our look at Dynamite as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.